changing the next neighborhood. The septic tanks are a big issue in some neighborhoods on the north side. So it was good in one part, but on the other end, what are families going to do? Where are they going to go, especially those residents who have lived there their whole lives?
Yeah, I mean, some will take the buyout, but Nate, the city is going to be on the hook for so much more money over time. And I just don't think people realize yet, and at the statewide level either, the kinds of the dollar amounts that we are talking about over the next few decades as this problem continues to worsen.
Sure. I mean, it's a $1 billion problem plus just in Jacksonville in the long run. And as Angela alluded to, I mean, environmental justice isn't just buying people out of the neighborhood and then forgetting about it. I mean, this is complicated stuff, and it takes a lot of, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of different strategies, working in concert with one another. I mean, it can be things like, the Emerald Trail. One of the benefits of the Emerald Trail is that just simply adding green space in some of these flood-prone neighborhoods kind of naturally helps drainage. I mean, that's the sort of thinking that you have to adopt in addition to these kind of harder, flood prevention strategies like, seawalls and buyout programs. I mean, it's a big deal. And Jacksonville is unfortunately just decades behind the eight ball. It's great that we're making some progress now, but and we've got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ship tweets the show, aren't most of the Kenlight properties owned by deadbeat landlords? I thought it was more than half. I hope the city only buys out owner tenants and not pads the pockets of business people who aren't helping the situation. Claire.
Yeah, that is a point that has been raised. Buying out is one thing, but those renters are going to have to find someplace else to live. This is an issue that plagues the Jacksonville community at large. There are plenty of places around town. You can see rentals that are in terrible condition. A few years ago, the apartment complex in Maine, this is escaping me right now, had some serious issues. I mean, we need to hold landlords on the hook for the conditions that other people live in.
David in East Arlington is on the line. Go ahead quickly, David.
Good morning, Melissa. When doing that works so much better. It does. It works so much better. We don't do that. That's sad. It's sad. It really is. But we've gotten to this point where we're destroying ourselves from the inside out. And we can't even have conversations in this world where or say something where people don't freak out. Case in point yesterday, and this to me is a perfect bizarre example of something. So we were on Cameo. If you guys don't know what Cameo is, you can go to this website called Cameo, and you can get celebrities. And I say that mostly B-list, a few A-list, a lot of reality TV people, but you can get people like Mark McGrath, $99, he'll, you know who Mark McGrath is, Sugar Ray, he'll do something, he'll sing you a song, Barry Williams, Brady Bunch, Charlie, Randy Couture, they've got some other people, Andy Cohen. You know who I was amazed to see producer Phil? Floyd Mayweather. That's what I said. Snoop Dogg, I think's on here. But most people, it's like Amber Nash. If you don't know who Amber Nash is, she's the voice of Panda. You're like, oh, okay. Ivan Lendl, the tennis player. Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. I mean, these people, so you go there, you pay X amount of dollars. Billy Zane, cost you $200, so sing a happy birthday or whatever. Manny Pacquiao's $1,000. Don't think Manny needs some money. Last time I checked. So when he'll say something about you or whatever, as long as it's not insane. So we went on there and I saw Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner was $2,500 for her to give you a shout out or to say, hey, happy birthday and whatever. And I said something jokingly, so how much for birthday? transitions from male to female or whatever, and they, that's their old blood. And if you're talking about that, you're rude to them, you're dead to them. Dog 88, $14.95 for a 14-day jump start. The best thing you'll ever do for your dog. Rough Greens, we make any